All right, so Ramon and Rylan are probably going to be happy with this one, but this is something we're going to work on since we don't have access to Fusion 360 for everyone. We are going to use Tinkercad for a few little assignments that we're going to do. So I'm going to attach a couple videos to kind of get you some basics on this one, but you can watch that below here. But for today, what we're going to do, once you've watched those other videos, come back to this and you can kind of see what we're going to do. I'm going to kind of move this thing around. What we're going to do for this assignment is we're going to create something simple. And what I want you to try doing is we're going to try making a basic little table. And I'm going to actually kind of go through this. So I'm going to just kind of scale this out just a little bit. Now, when we think about this for a table, there's a couple of things that we're going to have. You can kind of see very quickly we're going to have this little rectangle. Now, in our table, we're going to have four legs, and we're going to have just the top. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a box. We're going to kind of get the general idea on how to do this. So I'm going to shrink this thing down. Okay, now one thing I do want you to do, I'm going to drag a ruler out here. Okay, and once you do this, you can see that right now this box is 20 tall by 104 wide. Now, what I want is I'm going to kind of move this around, so I don't want it to be 20 tall. This is just on the base, and I'm going to make this, instead of 104 long, I'm going to type right here, and I'm going to type this thing, let's just say 98, okay, which will leave 3 and 3 on each side. Now, the other thing that I want to do is, you can kind of see, I'm going to move this from the top. I want to move this thing all the way through. Okay, now right now, this is going to, you're going to see, I'm going to cut off that whole corner. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight both of these. Okay, and when I highlight both of these, you're going to see now I have some options that appear up here under a line where I can click on L. So I'm going to click off of that real quick. Notice when I have one clicked or one selected, I cannot hit a line. It's grayed out. I have to click and drag, hold both of them. Then I can hit a line. Okay, now, once I do that, I just want this to be centered. That's all I want. I want this to be centered. Now, once I do that, you're going to see right off the bat here, now I've got some red here, and I've got some red over here on each side. Okay, and what I want is I need it that way because, again, I'm going to make a table. So I'm going to highlight both of these again, and I could have left that highlighted already. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to group. Okay, and I'm going to click group. And now that I have that, now I've got part of a table. Okay, but I said I wanted four legs. So I'm going to kind of do the same thing. Okay, and we move this to 15 tall. Okay, so my height is going to be 15 millimeters. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of go the opposite direction on this one. I'm going to move this box over here, and let's see, what was the width of this one? The width on this one is 43. So I'm going to kind of stick with basically sets of 3. So I want to do this really quickly. Let's see, the 43 on each side. I'm going to set this to 37. Okay, so my width is going to be 37 here. All right, and then the other thing is, this was, how long was this thing? This was 104. So I'm going to make this longer than it needs to be. I'm going to type this to 110. Okay. Now, once again, I'm going to align these. Now, this time they're a little further apart. Okay, I'm still going to go to align. And I do want this to be centered here. Okay, so that's centered there. And now I'm also going to click centered here. Okay, now you're going to see this is slightly longer than each side. It's right in the middle. And just if you can't see it that route, I'm going to move it this direction over here. I'm going to highlight both of these one more time, and I'm going to group this, and now we have a little table that we have. Okay, and if I want to change the color of this, which I do, I'm going to click on this instead of red, and I'm going to make this thing brown. Okay, and there is my table. So what you are going to do is you're going to go to Tinkercad. If you haven't created an account, create an account. You can use your school account on that one, and once you do that, you are going to create a table very similar to the one I have here. You can change your dimensions, so instead of being 104, you can change it however you want. You can make your design a little nicer. If you want to make an oval table, feel free. Change it however you want. Just make a table, and you're going going to take a screenshot of that. You can submit it here. And then one other thing, go to export. And once you go to export, you're going to save it as an STL file. Okay. And once you save this as an STL file, it will download. But go ahead, attach that STL file to Google Classroom as well. All right. Good luck.